For the question 1, I want to explain my passion for the math of management through 3 different aspects. Academically, this program can help me to construct a holistic understanding of management and advance my knowledge in areas such as market research and how to manage a company. These courses are critical to help me solidify my existing understanding of management. Secondly, from a spectrum of professional standpoint, just like what I write on my motivation statement, I want to do a project named Human, which could help ordinary people in the world. This program could help me gain valuable hands-on experience and skills to achieve this goal. Specifically, through internship and the capstone project, I can apply theoretical learning into real world. Lastly, this program provides an important opportunity to meet like-minded people and grow my network. I hope to interact with my peers who share a passion for the management and who are willing to share their experience when they face any problems. For the second question, my near-term target is to gain the master's degree because in the process of getting this degree, I can gain the theoretical knowledge of management and communicating with my classmates, my professor about my project. For the long-term target, I think my project named Human have a basic plan and I already have my own team to do this one. For the third question, firstly, I would say the basic contribute to the math of management is give more people an advice to choose this course as their target. Because when I graduate from university, I will know a lot about this course, this city. Then I can tell people around me about this school with reasonable reasons. Also, I'm good at communication skills. I do an amount of teamwork in my undergraduate degree. I know how to avoid misunderstandings and keeping things running smoothly. If my classmates meet any problems, I like to help them to solve it. Secondly, if I can be successful in the future, I would love to provide an grant to school to support new students and create a better learning environment for them. Also, I will to support some internship position for students to combine theory and practice. About question 4, I would say it from my study experience. As an international student, I faced a lot of language difficulties when I first went to study in England. And my relatively introverted nature prevented me from communicating in a second language for fear of making mistakes. For this quandary, I told myself every day, I should force myself to communicate with my professor and become an outgoing people. In my last year of undergraduate studies, not only did I become an extrovert, but I also achieved good results in my studies. And one of my essays was liked by my professor, and she willing to compile it in her new book. In the process, I realized that anything you want to do and are willing to do will work. Even if you will face a lot of problems, but no worries, just learn to enjoy it. Also, this experience also helped me learn more about myself. I kept telling myself not to go every time I was on my way to force myself to talk to my professor, but my path never stopped, and I still pushed through the door of her office to talk to him. This also made me from a habit that when I faced with anything that makes me feel fearful, even if I want to give up, I will still do it in the end. Speaking of a mistake I have made, I like to talk about my experience on my first teamwork. We need to work together on a presentation, and I'm reasonable to finding relevant case to explain our idea. Once I finished my part of case, I forgot to communicate with my professor ahead of time about whether the case was useful, because I had other assignments should be finished. After formal presentation, the professor told us that the case did not apply to this assignment, and that I had not mentioned the source of literature in the final reference list. I took it up myself to explain to the professor that this part of mistake was due to my problem, and apologized to the group members. I have learned to communicate with my professor ahead of time when I have similar assignments in the future, as well as to check more for the reference list. For the last question, I think I'm the better candidate for management because of my interdisciplinary background. Of course, this background seems to make me seem less competitive. However, I think the communication studies has developed my critical thinkings and made me a person who does not have personal bias when faced with any events. The nature of Master of Management requires extreme coordination skills and allocation of people. As a manager, you can bring your personal bias into the workplace. What managers have to do is to identify the strengths of each individual and empower them. My undergraduate studies revolved around a lot of inquiry into nature of things, such as why young people don't consume news and what caused wars. This all made me a person who is willing to discover and explore things and people at the same time. The most essential reason I chose the Master of Management was not because I want to make a lot of money, but because I want to be able to achieve the goals I mentioned in my motivation statement through study. Thanks for your listening. Hope you have a nice day.